Research Vessel Tanner of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is fully equipped safety-wise. We will go through a brief overview of the safety features of this vessel for your trip aboard the Tanner. As always, when you're aboard the Tanner, feel free to ask any questions of any of the crew members, and always make sure to address any safety concerns that you may have with the captains. While aboard the RV Tanner, all personnel are required to wear life vests. The life vests provided aboard the Tanner generally are self-inflating. That means if you go into the water and water contacts a certain aspect of the cylinder here, it will self-inflate. If it does not self-inflate, you have the option of pulling on the yellow tab with your hand with quite a bit of force, and it will deploy for you at that point. If you prefer to wear your own life vest aboard, that is fine. And if you do not have one, please speak with a crew member. We should have extras available for you. Again, please wear them at all times. Thank you. Make sure that you first have your life preserver on. A crew member will walk you through the various aspects of the vessel, including life rings on both outboard sides of the vessel to be thrown in the occasion that when you see a man overboard or a woman overboard. The other important aspect of that situation is to let someone know immediately. Point, yell, and watch. Do not take your eyes off of the person that has gone overboard. If you take your eyes off of them, you may lose sight of them, which will make it more difficult to retrieve that person later. Moving forward in the vessel, we see fire extinguishers outboard port side. Moving up into the pilot house, there's another fire extinguisher on the starboard side. Down in the galley as well. As you move through the Tanner, you will note caution tape. There are occasional tripping hazards throughout the vessel, one being when you come into the pilot house from the main deck house, and also an overhead hazard as you move into the galley down the stairs. Another life-saving aspect of the Tanner is the presence of emergency suits. These are neoprene full-body suits, which in the event of an abandoned ship should be worn by all personnel going into the water. Those are located in the rear or aft of the deck house. An AED is also aboard the Tanner. It is at the aft end of the pilot house next to the first aid kits. Topside on the Tanner, you'll notice a dinghy, which can be used in safety or emergency situations and is deployed via the deck crane. The deck crane will be utilized by trained personnel only, and during use, hard hats will be required. Also, during emergency situations, topside of the deck house, there is a emergency life raft. Instructions for the life raft are on the aft end of the deck house. The life raft will be deployed only on captain's command. In the event of an abandoned ship situation, it will be deployed by crew members. In any emergency situation, please only follow the directions of crew members aboard the Tanner. Also within the pilot house are first aid kit, personal protective equipment, masks for respiratory care, band-aids, etc. If you have the need to use any of the first aid equipment, please be sure to notify the captain or assistant captain of your injury. The injury will be logged just for our personal use here aboard the Tanner in order to ensure safety in the future. Also, in the pilot house, copies of the Coast Pilot, the light list, other vessel requirements and rules of the road, as well as the emergency and research vessel manual. Flares are also in the pilot house drawers aft of the table. As a visitor or volunteer aboard the Tanner, you will no doubt observe the crew engaged in lifting operations. The lifting operations occur outside the starboard side sliding door in the main deck house using a lifter. It is hydraulically driven. It is moving machinery when it is activated, and it can be dangerous. So as a volunteer or a visitor, you'll be asked primarily to stay in the pilot house, at least until you have seen the operation occur several times and have received adequate training. There is a safety issue there. Large objects will come through that window, including fish, but also long buoys. We do not want any risk of injury to occur during lifting procedures. Secondarily, during setting procedures, if we are setting net, most of the activity will occur off the stern of the boat. There will be lines, heavy anchors, and buoys involved, as well as long gill net. As a volunteer or a visitor, we would like you to stay clear of that operation until, again, you're adequately trained in those procedures. Again, safety first aboard the Tanner. So the first few times we engage in things, the best spot for you to be is up in the pilot house with one of the captains. During docking and departing procedures aboard the Tanner, crew members will be stationed at various points on the vessel in order to assist with tying up or throwing lines off during the procedure. At this point, being a visitor aboard the vessel, you'll be expected to assist in the manner of doing virtually nothing. Your job essentially is to stay out of the way. Do not attempt to assist by putting arms, hands, legs, feet over the gunwales to stop the vessel or to push the vessel off. Also, please make note of the captain at the helm and his need or her need to view all the way astern, the gunwales, and out the windows. So please give the captains a clear line of sight during docking and departing procedures. Thank you.